And now let's talk about Yui Kamio Let's Loose, which is the newest manga by Hiroshi Shiibaishi of Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan fame. Translation is being done by Daniel Coleman, and lettering will be being done by Michelle Armstrong. So, this series is about a girl called Yui Kamio, who is a very violent, unruly girl, kind of described as like she has some sort of demonic curse on her. So a bunch of Buddhist monks when she was a kid like tied her hair up and did some sort of chant and incantation to seal away her power. And that has turned her, in her white-haired form with chain on, like she's super nice and kind and elegant and stuff. But when she gets the chain off, she becomes the unruly Yui again, and her hair turns black and she becomes super violent and badass and cool and stuff. And basically, she goes to like this new high school. She meets this guy called Kido, who is really hot, apparently, and all the girls fangirl over her and stuff. But he's also really petty and stuff. So he's like, he wants to have revenge after like black hair Yui makes like a fool of him and beats him up and stuff. But apparently he also wants to become like a vet because he couldn't take care of his goldfish as a kid. A bunch of them died, so that made him very interested in studying to become a vet. Basically, he finds out Yui's secret when a bunch of thugs from Yui's old school come to, like, beat her up. But then, chain comes off, she beats him up. And now his life is embroiled in hers and all the shenanigans that'll befall her as she goes on crazy mishaps, basically, as black-haired Yui.
This feels like something out of the 90s. I feel like this is something we would have seen, like, 20 years ago. Like, just, I guess when it comes, like, to the art, and, like, I guess its sense of humor as well. I don't know, it's something about it just feels really retro to me.
Shiibaishi definitely has that kind of style to their artwork, where it's, like, definitely kind of rough and old schoolish.
Mm-hmm. It also sort of reminds me, before you say anything, hear me out. At least, like, one element in particular, like the whole thing with Yui Kamio, like, her changing from her sweet, innocent side to, like, her dark, unruly side. Like, that element sort of reminded me of, like, Rosario and Vampire in a way, where it's like, oh, this girl has a charm that keeps her dark hidden powers away and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that kind of reminded me of that series in particular. I don't really have a lot to say about this first chapter in particular, other than, I'm willing to read a few more chapters of this to see maybe where it goes, but I just thought it was fine. I don't have any strong feelings about it either way. I like Shibaishi's art, at least. Like, I've always thought his style was interesting.
Yeah, I think Shibaishi's art is pretty good. His character designs are pretty good. I was not too enthused by this first chapter, mainly because I don't like a lot of supporting cast. I don't like Hito. He's like a jerk, and he's not very funny. I like Yui Kamino. I like her best friend that has known her since she was a kid and stuff. I wish that her best friend now, she was the perspective character. We didn't have to have Hito, because she's fine enough,
yeah,
I think, for the perspective character. Like, this dude who is like this rich asshole who is, I guess he's a soft side because he wants to be a vet and stuff, but I don't really care about him. Like, there is this moment where he tries to stand up for Yui and stuff, but, whatever. Like, the real appeal is like seeing Yui beat up people, and I just want more of that. And so hopefully, if that's what it focuses on more going forward, and if he has to stay around, he's just a tag along and he doesn't overtake things too much, because I'm not too interested in him, but Yui Kamino, yeah, she's pretty cool. I'd like to see her beat up more, like, gang people, and get into crazy, brawls and stuff like that. So, sure.
Mm.
But, yeah, I didn't think that was a particularly strong first chapter, because too much attention was on supporting characters who I didn't care about. But anytime it was like just Yui beating up people, that was fine. That was pretty entertaining.
Mm-hmm. I did like the part where, like, yeah, some gang that Yui beat up when they were, like, in elementary school or whatever, comes after her, and it's presented as like, oh, we're supposed to assume like, oh, maybe they're after Kito or something, because obviously he's a rich asshole, why not? Like, of course you would think that, but then it's like, we're actually after Kamio. I kind of like how it kind of turns itself around to where it's like, oh, I totally understand why this guy is coming to beat up Kamio. Like, of course she's the one who, like, escalated the situation by beating this guy up. Like, I just kind of like that misdirection where it's like, okay, like, not that I like feel like really, really sorry for him or something, but it's like, I understand why he's coming to beat her up. I just thought that was kind of funny.
Well, I thought it was funny that he was so full of himself that he said, oh, these guys are clearly here for me. And he's like talking himself up, but they're like totally ignoring him. And when he's like trying to diss him, hey, don't you ignore me? It's like, what? Who the hell are you? Get out of my face. Like, he was totally did not care about Kito at all. Just,
yeah.
Kito was just talking himself, like being so full of himself, but they were totally nuts. I thought that was funny. And I also thought it was kind of amusing that, like, the gang leader guy is, like, kind of a masochist who, like, likes getting beat up by Yui and stuff, so.
I guess really other than that, like, because this series was sort of advertised as, like, a new comedy, and I don't know. Besides that moment, the first chapter, at least, I didn't think was, like, all that funny, more so just amusing. I'm hoping the comedy has more opportunity to kind of, like, stretch its legs a little bit as the series goes on, but yeah, I wasn't really like laughing all that much, while reading the first chapter. I mostly read it pretty quietly, but that's just me. I don't know. Yeah,
I think that we both would highly recommend Last Sayuki. Yui Kamio, I don't think we're going to give much of a recommendation, but I think it has promise. We'll see where it goes.
Yui Kamio is the kind of series that I would rather let build up than read week to week, maybe, just to kind of see, like, whether it has legs. Because I can't tell if, like, this will really last just yet or not.
Well, as it is now, it seems that it'll be, like, kind of episodic for a while, which makes it more enjoyable as a weekly read. At least it would be for me, but we'll have to see. We've only read the first chapter at this point. Who knows, like, how the story will progress going forward.
Yeah, as it stands, like, I'm definitely more confident that Last Sayuki will hopefully last a little longer, at least. Like, I don't want Last Sayuki to get canceled too quickly. I actually really want to see where that goes, in particular.
Yep, it's a harsh world out there for new Jump series, but hopefully it'll manage to stick around.
Yeah, hopefully.